truck coming in the way there.
Morning. This is Jonathan and David, Warner's Communications. We're by the Fraser River, looking for Eloise and David. Woke up this morning and I can still move my knees, but David has slept inside the back of his pickup, and that was about 6 hours ago. I'm looking for David. Have you seen David? I think he may have gone for a swim. The Fraser River. And he's not back yet, but I'm gonna go look for him. It's a beautiful day to die. So this is Jonathan and David, Warner's Communications. We'll get back to you. So here I am again. This is Jonathan and David, Warner's Communications, May 20th, 1998. I'm still looking for David. You've seen where David went to. I think he may have gone for a swim, and he may be in heaven. But if that's what's happened to him, it was a beautiful day to go. It doesn't make much sense. I really can't even fathom my best friend not being here. But we came here for water. And I know he's somewhere. And if Mother Earth took David, he didn't die in vain, because David had a message to the planet, to the people. And we can have heaven on earth. It doesn't have to get worse. It can get better. So I love you, David, my friend. And what we're looking at here is the Fraser River. And I still don't know where he is yet. But he'll probably turn up all wet somewhere. I hope. So this is the bed. This is the riverbed just where we slept last night. Like I said, I woke up this morning and he wasn't here. He wasn't in his bed. His shoes were in the van, in the pickup. And I think he may have gone for a swim. Hopefully it was not his last swim. Like I've been saying, I can't even fathom David not being here with me, with us. But God works in mysterious ways. I don't know. You have to live every moment because they might be your last. This is the beautiful Rocky Mountains, beautiful Fraser River. And this is Jonathan looking for David. And I know he's okay.
Dial 0.
Yes, I can report a missing persons, please. Yes. Okay, would I dial 911 for that, or? I think my friend drowned in the Fraser River this morning. I did, and they just said to hang up and dial. Pardon me? I'm in Shaw Springs Resort, in Cache Creek, I think, area. Yeah. I think so, yeah. Last night he slept in the back of his pickup, and when I woke up this morning he wasn't in there in the pickup. And he's the sort of person that kind of go down the river and kind of freshen up. And I don't know, he's not here. It's not like I'm not around 11. No. Yeah. We're at the Shaw Springs Resort. Yes. Well, you can just step over the fence. The river's right there. Non-emergency. I would believe this is an emergency. I would believe this is an emergency. Well, I did, but they just said hang up and dial 0. Good afternoon. I'm phoning from the Shaw Springs Resort, and I believe my friend may be drowned. We camped by the river last night, and the guy slept outside on the ground, and he slept inside in his pickup. And when I woke up, he wasn't there, and his shoes are there, and it's his nature to kind of like go down to the stream and maybe freshen up. And he usually gets up really early in the morning, and I can't find him, so I think something happened. No, that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm phoning from. Just a couple hundred yards from it. Towards the East Coast. My name is Stephen Jonathan Ledrew. capital D-R-E-W. I guess my home address is Newfoundland. It's P.O. Box 472, Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Salt Spring Island. 709-634-6933. About 52, I guess. David Shibib. S-H-I-B-I-B. No. And we were close to the river, and it just, like, it would be like his nature to kind of go down and freshen up, right? And I don't know, all I can think is that maybe he went to bathe, and I'd say 10. I love you, David.
Hello! Boy, you're hard to catch.
Oh my God.
Hi, Eloise.
Hi.
Oh, heart attack. Oh God. Holy shit.
You're moving at a rate like.
I know.
Man, are you
but
ever
I
moving?
did it myself in though today.
Did you?
You did?
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, just that I'm really white. Yesterday was actually a good day, and I did about 40 some odd, 45 maybe.
Yeah.
Kilometers, as I call them.
Yeah, well, we stopped at the tea house. We thought, okay, she's in Cache Creek because she had a sign saying Cache Creek on the 20th.
Right.
So we're in there. It says, okay, well, what do we do? And then we stopped. So we've been tracing you all the way. He says, well.
Well, I called in last night to tell him I was getting beyond Cache Creek. You know.
At that 1-800 number.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, they haven't changed it. They haven't updated
I know.
it
I noticed that.
since
God,
Wednesday.
I'm still in Mission or something.
You want to take some shade here? Or
Oh,
what are you doing?
well,
Do you
I'm
stop?
trying to get over this damn hill.
Yeah. Well, where's your water?
It's in my back.
Why don't you give it to Jonathan?
So how do you feel though?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Tired, sore.
Yeah.
Got, I think, 4 bubbles. No skin between my toes, but everything's holding somehow.
I walked for 5 hours today. It's just grueling. I couldn't believe it. I said, how are you doing it?
I know. It's a tough one. But I've had rain most of the time. It's the last 2 days I
Take your
started
pack
getting
off.
sun. Well, the other thing is that some people, I call people in Kamloops to come
Yeah.
and meet me because I just couldn't go any further tonight.
Right.
So some people from the Shuswap Nation
Oh yeah.
are going to come just to have a place or something because I've been sleeping on the side of the road and that, you know, and just doing my best. I gotta get my phone.
Okay. Whoa.
So how, is the pack comfortable? Is it?
It's good, but after so many hours, it's
Yeah.
just cuts right into you, you know.
You find you getting stronger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. Even fat's dropping. I see it all over. Splash, splash. This hill though was.
This is a
awful.
big hill.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So how many miles a day are you averaging now?
Well, 30 kilometers. I'm trying to average that constantly, but it's really hard going up and down hills. That's the difference, you know.
Wow.
But I'm trying to do my best, and actually
Yeah.
I'm nearly a day ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I was so proud. And today's my birthday.
Is
Today's
today your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
my birthday. That's why you
Wow.
came. Oh, God. Oh,
So
God.
we've been what? We left. When did we leave, David?
We left. I don't know. What day is it? Wednesday. We left Monday.
And so we went to the place and we said, have you seen Eloise? And she goes, yeah, she was here a couple of days ago. You were driving like 60 miles an hour, and like you're always ahead of us, and you're walking.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So
Yeah,
what are
you're
you
hard
doing
to
walking
catch.
across Canada? Are you out of your mind or something?
Exactly.
You expect to do anything with this or what?
I don't know. Do my best.
Yeah, so David says that he believes that this is it. Maybe
Yeah.
what you're starting is
I think so.
could be a change in consciousness of the country.
Well, I think that you guys like me are on the pulse, have your hand on the pulse of the times.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think that's really, the greater part of all this.
yeah.
And we've got to put it out. It's the most, like everybody told me, why don't you bicycle, why don't you, and I've thought of it 100 times, But it was the most simplest thing I could do. And I thought that's, there's nothing more simple than that, that could really get either people going or something. And I just gave $5. I just was down at that restaurant in Savona, and there was this old man that didn't have very much money, and he came and he sat, and he's looking at my meal, so we split the lunch together. And then I gave him $5. I said, take it, because it'll be good luck. You'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And he couldn't and everything. I said, no, you got to take it, And,
So like last night, David looked at me
Wow.
and he said that he believed that you were it. You were the one. And I said, you've never said that before about anyone. And he believed that it was your energy right now that could change, that could maybe give hope.
we got to try. That's what I thought.
I just believe it's possible. I don't see what else is happening. It's a
That's how I feel.
yeah. It's a tough
And
tough scene.
there was no kind of feminine
Yeah.
stance in all this. In a way, just normal kind of feminine stance. It doesn't mean just female in a way. And that's why I thought I've got to put it out. And it wasn't only just the fact of being feminine, but be just that normal person doing it. No bureaucracy, no nothing.
So is any media
Nothing.
besides
Nothing.
ourselves?
That's it's just you guys. But on the other hand, at least you're real.
Yeah. Well, we just came from Galiano Film School, right? We went there and I had all the Slocan Valley tapes, and we kind of were logging it all and trying to put together an edit to release. And the whole school was kind of geared up for students would arrive with 2 minutes of raw footage and come up with a 30-second bite. We've got 600 hours of raw footage, and what do we do with this? But what we filmed the other day at Parliament was quite powerful. And the parade, and we're just trying to put it together.
And the spokes and everything. Finally, I just lied there and threw everything on top of me and just collapsed and died just about. Felt better the next day, but I was crawling into Mission. When I get there on Main Street, there's these old timers sitting at this kind of, so the underwear out and the coffee cups raining it through my underwear. It worked perfect. I finally, after 3 days, I got it right now. I'm getting used to it in a way.
So like most people have no hope.
I know, a nightmare. And often I had 3 of these big ones, and they're double wide ones, and the train on the other side, and you could hardly move. Going through those tunnels was really bad because it's so slippery there. It's so dirty, and everything. It was really hard. And then it got real narrow. Finally, this man of the transport, he thought I was carrying a baby at my back. He says, "What are you doing out here?" Because there's places where there was absolutely no room for me, and it was, that kind of weekend. So he was able to drive me through that dangerous stretch, That's what helped me get a few more kilometers, And the first night I'm in the blackberries, and then they have this body bag. I didn't know, I've never seen those kind of things. I'm trying to get the spokes in, and where does this go? Where's the hole? Trying it this way, that way, the whole thing collapse. Everything how I feel about water, how, all those things. And I have been so kind of weepy and teary and emotional just about, just thinking of, the road is so much of our modern time in a way that everybody's going too fast to really stop for even someone walking. Yeah. Or just slow down, or, but I know I'm they're looking, but still, not one, like you see, bus drivers are actually worse than truck drivers. They'll never move an inch for me. Yeah. Whereas the truck drivers, there's 2 lanes, most of them will kind of go off onto the other lane, Huh. Then I have these red trucks now, because I like starting to do the rural wave and that, so I've got these red truck drivers. I don't know who it is, but they all honk at me, 3 in a row, honk, honk, and we're all waving, so it keeps me distracted in a sense.
Well, we notified the police all up and down the road.
Oh, you did?
Well, we thought if anybody sees you, those guys should be out on the road. But they never saw a thing, and none of them ever saw anything. And I finally started to identify the kind of places that you would call into. I said, well, there's a campground, there's a tea house.
I have to wait for my feet to de-swell to get my shoes back on. And I can put them, if I can get them in cold water, it really makes a big, big difference, And just getting used to everything, my whole body, just getting used to it. And it's carrying that weight, that's been the greatest, Had a rash all over here just from all the rubbing, And it's kind of awkward. But it works, it's not bad, But it's only when I get tired. Like today I put woolen socks on, I shouldn't have. They never stop, not even Sunday. There's not even a day of grace left anymore. It's always movement. Unbelievable. Well,
so you haven't lost heart?
Sometimes, now I was coming close to getting broken. That's why I called the people in Kamloops. Otherwise I would have camped, I was after this I would have camped maybe 10 kilometers after Savona, just so that I knew next day I'd make it right into Kamloops, even though it killed me, and I figured I could just lie there and die for 2 days if I had to, But I just couldn't go that much further. It was really hard on me this morning. The one day good, next day maybe you overdid it. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I thought, and has been so handy, this is the 3rd person. And it's just been a saving grace, just a saving grace.
You went back to Victoria?
Yeah. But yeah, it's like it was going to come down, and that's what we have to, because just when we're going to lose heart, it's like having a baby, just that transition is when you want to give up.
Yeah, but that's what bothers me. Yes.
But excellent. And
How did you manage to do that? I did it for 8 days once. I started to dream about food.
It's the cause. It's the cause. It's like this. It's the cause.
So
it's
what's
like,
the cause? What's
like
the...
water, pure and simple. Just that thing of saving the water. Because I felt that back home, like as a mother, my life was almost meaningless if I can't provide the health to my children. And that's what gave me the incentive, because I can't say that the life is worth living anymore. You get a certain either distance or length. Like, I don't think anybody really believed it. It's like, look at the other walks. It was only towards the end that it started.
That's all.
But there's also some guy going with horses in a buggy too. I think it's for the heart or something like that. And there was a woman who came from Prince Rupert down to Mission when I was coming. I said, it must be rush hour for walks. She was walking for Alzheimer, but her husband was following her and everything else like that. And they were gathers with time. Like, I'm really looking forward to this award, and then I'm going to be in Reader's Digest next month too. So everything in me, like we were saying, maybe water invented us to carry itself. And it's just getting in tune with it in a way. It's really, I don't know why I'm so attached to it, but I'm really attached, really strongly, like I can't let it go. And I'm attached also to just being normal, without all that, like, that's why I really appreciate you guys. Because if it ever comes, you've got all the footage. And they want to make a movie, they want to do a documentary, maybe, I'm not sure, CBC on me, but you've got all the footage. See it that way. What changes, we're on the verge of great changes. If we can only hang on, and if we can't collapse in it, and at least you guys are still together. There's tons of other groups that have split apart, infighting. Like even the women at Gustafson Lake, 17 years of friendship collapsed in an implosion.
Yeah, I see that happen.
Is something they haven't figured out. Like even this, I've always come in, like I told Colleen, I'm tired of playing chess back and forth. I said, this is just do something totally different that they didn't think. Like when I said I'm going to fast, the Attorney General had called the village. They got the 2 village councils to get me out of jail. They were going to sign for me as a parent, and they were frightened. Then they had to be responsible for me, and that scared the shit out of them. They all backed off, and they were all saying, we were going to get you out. Oh yeah, right, and everything. But the Attorney General, everybody was up in arms, and I didn't know it. I'm sitting there saying, I'm so fed up and everything. But it was a lot more than I thought, the impact that it had on them. Like they can't figure out that angle. And the thing is, like, here is another angle, and how to make it creative so that they don't know what to do, and they don't know what to do with an angry mum because there's no logic left. That's what I meant by a feminine stance. They don't know what to do with that kind of, simplicity in a way. They got everything, like they've got it all figured out, and how to manipulate and everything else and advertise and so on. But they haven't got certain parts of it. The chaos theory is what I call it, And that's where I come in. Because also I just feel that, I wouldn't have done this. I mean, I'd just soon be home and, take it easy, have a joint or something. But there was no one out there. That's why I did it. There was no one that was just normal, And I'm not saying there isn't at all, but it's just that after going with the environmental people and everything in our area and so on, I was just felt not at ease. The sympathy. Well, why don't you stay overnight with these people? I'm sure it's going to be okay. Yeah. And meet them, because they're really, very like us, And I think it's there's a meaning for all this. There's a reason for it.
Both of you walking? No, we just met Eloise just a little bit. We come from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Today I can get a hold of some people and see if I can't get some.
Get them going. So you want the water, weaving the water. It's an old native tradition.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. And that we'll present that to Parliament in Ottawa.
it makes a big difference for the community. Helps
I
out
think
people.
so. We need music. We need music.
Oh yeah.
We need art. We need music. We need to draw them in something, you know. It's been hard. I've been all alone knocking this far without their help. It was really hard. It was really lonely to see children alone on the side. So I got a lot, and even they abandoned me at the last minute. My daughter was going to come, but it's a good thing she didn't. She would have whined all the way anyway. You know, and I called them all. I made $400 with a phone call. Not one of them showed up. But it doesn't matter.
Does anybody send out a rainbow calling at all?
Never been to one in my life. I don't know anything about it, but that's all I've heard since I left. This was school children, and they asked, you want to come early because we're staying with one of the school teachers right now. She says, do you feel like coming early so you can talk to the kids? I said, sure, right on. So then tomorrow we'll really put it out too. Now you got to come up to the jail, and we're going to have another walk. And I think we will. I mean, it's the first time anybody has joined in since I...
It's happening here, Kamloops. Love.
Of really standing for Mother Earth, really making, you know, that effort to put that love out like a present.
Well, it is a gift. All life is a gift.
That's right.
I mean, the moment we wake up every morning, first thing we should say is
Thank you.
Praise.
Oh, I feel it when I hear the birds sing with the spring coming and the awakening and all life around us, you know, and so on. It's just living in the country, you know. And
I found myself last week really paying attention to a bird. I had never seen this kind of bird, and I still don't. Whiskey jack, that's what it was.
aren't they something?
And I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, I'd like to hear what it sounds like. Yeah. So I sat there and I actually spoke the words to the bird. Can you sing a song of praise for me? And right away it started chirping away. I thought, how wonderful. All things on this earth give continuous praise except for us.
I know.
And it's for us to learn that lesson and start giving the praise.
And fold in with nature.
Yeah.
Instead of fight it and dominate it.
Become part of it.
Yeah, totally. I had I said from my birth, I've had such a strong connection of water because the day I was born is, they couldn't get my mother across because the bridge, it was so bad, the floods in Quebec, and it was at the point of Three Rivers is where I was born. And they had to bring my mom across on a boat. And there was this old sailor like Popeye that stood by her with a mop because her amniotic fluid was leaking out. And she would walk around because of her embarrassment and everything, and he just followed her with the mop. And then on the other side, of course, they brought her in and she gave birth. And I said that the beginning of my life is marked by two things: being an embarrassment to my mother and being born at the time that the waters just overflowed. So, yeah. And that's why I feel that strong connection, and I can't let it go from me. Oh my God.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh my goodness.
2 Geminis.
You have the birthdays on the same day?
I'm between the
How
two.
come you're in the
Everyone's
dark
birthday is
there,
the
guy?
same day. Everyone's
Taurus.
birthday is the same day. Let's celebrate every day as our birthday.
It is a birthday.
We
I woke
are
up this
in
morning.
Tomorrow
celebration
is everyone's
together.
birthday, and it's Christmas. The next day is Christmas.
And Easter.
The next day is
Easter.
Christmas.
Yeah.
The day after that's Easter.
You know what I gave my mother for Easter?
Or to earn extra foods.
Well, I think once we arrive with the march, we'll just go up and say, look, we need a dozen oranges, or we need this, or we need that, you know. And I think that
Would you be
it'll be
capable of
given
sending
it.
them?
Do you want to support the water walk with love? What can you give?
What
Anything.
can you help us
Anything.
with? A body. Just be there with us.
Yeah, totally.
Anything.
But don't tell them that this is going to be televised, okay?
No.
Okay. Keep that quiet. Shh. The world is watching.
The world's a lovely place to be.
It is. I can't believe it. It's like I'm coming home to my own people. I've lived in isolation for so long, in a sense. You know.
We gotta have music, we gotta have juggling, we gotta have smiling, we gotta have dancing at every camp.
Theater.
Freedom camp.
Singing it.
Every 30K. Coming soon to you. From ever happening, just see what can be done if we were one. If we were one. Mother Earth is dying. Can't you feel the pain? Mother Earth is crying. I'm drowning in tears. And I know how to swim, but I'm still drowning. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? After 22,000 generations of living experience, we all know what now has got to be done. It's got to be done. We have to be a family again, just like we used to be way back when. The present system and a healthy environment can't possibly coexist. That's what David Suzuki's been telling me, telling you. Now I sing to you. What are we going to do to save ourselves in this mad, mad world? We have to be. We have to be one of communicating to everything that's living. One earth full of love. Can and the pain never happening. To see what can be done if we were one. If we were one. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter how much gold you got. Doesn't matter how much diamonds you wear. To you, you can't buy. Extinct salmon from the Fraser River. We have to love Earth. We have to love the Earth. Or are you just gonna keep on trashing her? Or are you just gonna keep on trashing her? We have to love the Earth. We have to love ourselves. Then we can give it to everyone else. Share the love.
on underneath.
As you can eat money. We have to be one of one love.
Definitely one of
I sang every time when I ran from there, Victoria.
He sang that. We got national, we got TV on
I
that.
sang the song and I always end up crying. It was just, I was crying. Every time I sang, I was crying.
The song says it. Yeah.
It's got a lot to say in one song.
Yeah. Say
Yeah.
the story. Let
Yeah,
him
Dave,
know.
yeah, good idea.
Just a minute now.
Wait, David, can you say that again? Go on.
Daniel Berrigan, and she said the Berrigan brothers, so she knows who I'm talking about, wrote a book. And in this book, he said that civil disobedience is a product of a satisfied life. And so it makes you think, well, oh, really? Well, really? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, I feel really good. I just don't want to be pushed by this system to a worse condition. So we have to be civilly disobedient to go along that way. So you're satisfied, you're truly satisfied. Let's quit getting and start being truly a family again, or like where we are. And then we can settle this, because what do we need their system for? To look after us?
We don't
Come
need
on.
that system. We are the system in itself. Without us, they are not in being.
But they forgot that. You see, the servants then have become the masters of the people, and
Yeah.
and it's tyranny.
Yeah.
So they tell me I need an insurance policy. Well, I said the true insurance would be to be responsible where you were, not to rely on some company that will give you money if you get in an accident. I mean, that's
You need to
not
rely on your
insurance.
brothers and sisters that you know
Yeah.
they will take care of you if anything happens to you.
A caring community is the only answer we have for a future that will sustainable. If we don't learn to care,
Care and share.
care and share. And caring means sharing.
Yeah.
That's right. So,
And it all comes from love. The only rule we need is the rule of love.
yeah,
You know?
Is
And
there
well,
it's
it's too
that.
bad there's not a free box around. You know, it's too bad. I mean, we have so much waste. We're surrounded by this enormity, this just immense
It is
monstrosity,
coming.
the
It's
vehicles
coming.
and machines.
It's all coming. It's all here. It just has to grow. The seeds are planted. And we are growing and we are aging. We are coming of age now. The baby boomers are one of the largest forces that are coming of age now. And we're coming at an age of where the power is coming back to us, you know. And this time we have to just put it out to everybody. Care and share, you know.
I also feel that
Moving
it
feet.
comes from oppression in some ways as well. I feel the government is no longer serving the people, but it's oppressing the people.
Systems
The
of
police are no
domination.
longer, you know, to protect and serve. They are to enforce laws.
The rule of the law is the greatest that they'll quote, you know, and yet it is inhumane. It's unbelievable.
Well, I think the thing that the police officers themselves are forgetting is that the laws are being made, and the laws are not even being made for humanity anymore. You can't sit somewhere. No skateboarding, no jogging. These are sports, recreational activities that people get together and do as, you know, social beings. So let's outlaw that and not have social beings. The police, not really looking at it as, in the long run, what is the effect of this, are just enforcing the laws. That's what they're being trained to do. It's a military within the society itself, I think. But there's enough people that are just tired of being oppressed. We're just
Right.
not living according to their system at all. We're just living our own lives. And to be able to support
Free.
each other and
To
help
be
each
free.
other.
You know, that's the whole freedom of rights. And the first right is the right to life. It's right there inside. the miserables. And that caste system, even though like India has a kind of religious caste system, but oh, we're in the Western world, we too have a caste system. Are you middle, upper, middle, lower, lower? Where do you stand? And there is no division, and you know, that's where unity becomes now. The word, one family, one earth. And we just have to aspire to it. If we just put it out, you know, it'll come. It'll come. It's there for us. The water will stand by us. You know.
It's never going to give up on us.
Yeah. Yeah. We are her pinnacle of creation, of Genesis. Everything is a crescendo. And we're the human factor. And she loves us dearly like a mother. You know, we are protected. To live with the animals. When the mums and cubs came down to the village, about 500 of them, they were out of berries that year. It was a bad season, and to feed them was a noble gesture, so that they remember that humankind, it starts getting into the genetic memory, that humankind loves them and them to love us, and to live where, oh, there's the new baby cub, and there's mama, and it's just so nice to if we could all live in this unison, in this caring and sharing with all of nature.
I'll agree with that to a certain point. I don't know if we should have fed the bear or let the bear starve. Look at the Canadian geese as an example. We didn't have to kill the entire population of Canadian geese to kill that species. They're city birds now. They stay around because people feed them. They don't migrate anymore. They don't eat natural foods anymore.
Yeah.
We have destroyed a species without killing it.
But on the other hand, we are learning to live with the species, and they're not only like, I don't see a blade of grass left in the park, they still have their nature. We had a baby goose in our village who the mother was killed, and there was some baby geese around, and one just came to our house the day my son graduated. We were having a party. She was being chased by a cat. And so what to do, and I put her in a cage, and she threw her body against the wire mesh. It wasn't a cage, it was a playhouse, so there was lots of room, and there was a little rabbit, and he was in a cage in there, so she did have some company and food, everything. But she couldn't stand being locked in. So I had to put her in my hair at night to sleep, and she'd groom me and check for lice and everything else and so on. And so began this relationship. And along the way we discovered that she did have her own instincts and everything. And she developed quite into, we taught her to fly, all that. Then we took her down to places where there was geese to incorporate her, and she didn't want to come and go. And she'd fly with us, Emma, going down the road on her bike. She'd fly beside her. It was so touching. When we went swimming every day, we took her to the water. She was quite a chore to, you know, get her going, but she'd swim on our back like a baby. It was so cute, and her name was Gooby, and she did take off, and she migrated. It was the time when all the birds were in fever, and they're screaming all night for nights. You can hear them. And her too, she looked at herself, her reflection in the glass window, and knew, and we tried to tell her, Gooby, you know, you're really a bird and everything and that. And we saw them take off from the beach, and there was one slowly, but there, forming the V behind. And what memory will she take? That humankind loved her. And yes, there are species that are going out of whack. We're losing a lot. But what's happening is that there are species coming in too, and those changes are the new seed. And those plants that are coming in are extremely healing plants. And instead of seeing them as something bad, or something bad is happening, we're watching the shift. And we're trying to help it and keep, our thing is to save the seeds of all that we can, of ourselves, of everything on earth, you know. And she will stand by us. I really feel it so strongly. And I guess having a smoke just is so inspiring.
Hello!
You won't wave back.
Which day will it be needed for the first camp out on the highway?
Okay, you got your map here. Okay, here's 1, 2, if you do a mile, 500 miles, if you're 50, 100, we can make do, we can try our best.
So get people to join our camp. We're going to be in this area for 30 kilometers a day. And we're going to set up camps every night, and hopefully we can get some musicians and you know, have some good times again with people, getting to know people, and I'm also doing news. So we're producing tapes on what the people are really saying about what's going on, and getting that out, like a true message to the system, to maybe people don't feel so free in it, and it's, some of what they're doing is not very, you know, it's not caring for the earth, it's not sharing with each other.
Judge, you're young. It's your life. You're going to have kids, whatever. You're coming of age too. And you know, you got to think that, you know, those children have to live and be healthy and strong. This is for the next 7 generations, and the traditional cultures of our country, they never made a decision without thinking 7 generations ahead. And you're the next generation after us. It's all coming to you. And we're coming into our elder stage. And it's time for us to move too, and move our asses. We're all overweight, as you can see. Well, these 2 guys are
Well, hey, come on.
My kid with the camera, like airing our dirty.
You don't want it before we get out. They recognize this, because if they show up, and I've already talked to one of them, and Eloise is really very, you can see she's real, I can see she's real, and the camera doesn't lie. And we're on this walk, this is it, this is the walk that she's taking. It's not for me to speak, but
Well, it's
what
a walk
she's
that
doing.
we're all taking for the planet.
She's doing it. I didn't initiate it.
No?
No. And I said, but gee, I actually do support it. So, what else have I got happening? And then I thought, well, gee, I can't get this out of my mind. So I had to show up to film it and see, is this the move? Could this be the Millennium Walk? We're going to make it to the future. Right? We're going to have you know, they're talking about the extinction of the coal, all the problems that we've got, and it doesn't look good. But that's because of who's running it. If Goddess is in control, Creator is in control, well, isn't that up to the Creator what our destiny is? Mm-hmm. So if I have a divine destiny, but I'm a man, then I look around and I say, hey, I don't want to survive with this shit getting worse every day.
Let's fix it.
Let's just fix it. But where do we start? There's no place, because it's the whole thing. It's everything.
You got it right here.
Yeah. Well, that here now is where. So I couldn't stop, because you got landlords, you got all these. You got to go through a cashier to survive, right? I mean, you can't get away from
Sad
that
fact of
system.
life.
So we had to change that, but we could do it with this camp. We could have the people being fed by their own, like getting out. I mean, we have to swamp into a town and announce that there's a whole bunch of people here that need food. Right? There's 100,000 of us. You better get the kitchens ready a week before we get there.
And praise God, they will.
And they will. Of course they will. What are they going to do? Say,
no,
we don't exist? We're on the highway. Hello, we got signs. We got camps.
The thing is at that
every
point,
night.
at that point, as the dude said, that's critical mass.
Critical mass.
People listen.
People listen.
There's 100,000 people walking up the street now saying, let's save this place.
Right. Let's see.
We live here.
Yeah.
People must listen to that. And if it takes just the four of us to start, then let's go for a walk.
Yeah, that's right. Take a walk, set up the camps. Because I like the idea, actually, that you only have to, you could walk to the next camp, right?
Every day.
Yeah, or you could, yeah, every day. Or if you're going, like I once had, you have a sign saying going to the water walk peace camp, or whatever we want to call it.
And somebody will give you a ride to the next
Somebody
one.
will give you a ride. They say, oh, he's just going less than 30 kilometers every day. Or he went on a supply run or something, right? And you could move masses down the highway that way, right?
Well, perhaps at some point when the masses are there, somebody will provide a bus.
Well, yeah. We won't see things going by empty. People will want to share.
They're going to want to help us.
Yeah, they're going to want to help.
Because it's for the right reasons.
Yeah. And not only that, we're very smart. And we're getting this out on video. We're producing direction. We are saying, okay, if this is the best that we can do, is this what can we do? Is this all we can do is camp on the highway? People are going to have to look at it and say, what's going on? Why is that camp on the highway?
Why is there now this many people right there?
Walking, not dependent on any form of transport. All they need is food. All they need. And they have their own little tents set up. It's a summer walk, right? Got their own backpack. And we're walking down the highway every day. We're doing 30 kilometers.
Every day.
And every day we have a common pot. Right?
Yeah.
And if it's stone soup, well, we know about, do you know about
That's
stone
what we're
soup?
eating.
And it's good.
Stone soup and some water, thank you.
Excuse me, what is stone soup? I have to interrupt. What is stone soup?
Boiled water with stones.
What do you mean?
Exactly that. Stone soup.
Well, boy, those stones are good stones.
If that's all there
That's
is
the
to eat,
rock,
you
man.
know it's staple.
It's it's just sprinkled with a little kindness from the audience.
So you're having a potluck here, and you're like inviting everyone to come, and you're having stone soup.
We're having stone soup. That's what we're starting it off.
Stone soup and water, thank you.
Yeah, well, rock's a purifier. It's pure water. It's the finest elixir of life that we have is water.
When you have a glass of cold water and then a cup of hot stone soup,
yeah.
how much more do you want?
What kind of rocks are you going to use? What kind of rocks?
Local rocks, whatever's in the region.
Yeah, bring some rocks.
Okay, what do you mean with it? Some people may still be confused. Some people maybe still can be confused.
Well, if you live in Seattle and you're going to come to the camp, bring a stone from Seattle to throw in the pot.
Bring some water also.
We need the water.
We need to weave the water to make this work. We have to. It's a weaving of the water.
And when we send them back home, they can take some BC water with them.
Okay, stone soup. Where is this happening?
Well, it's every night for the next 5 months, I guess.
5 months.
Yeah, it's every night. It's a feast.
What's happening for the next
Feast
5
or
months?
famine.
Excuse me, what's
Or
happening?
it's a famine on the nation.
What's happening in the next 5 months?
Well, this is the Eloise Charet-Calles Water Walk, and Jonathan and David, One Earth Communications.
I'm Jonathan Tree Spirit, David.
John, he keeps going.
No, my name is Jonathan Tree Spirit. Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for supper.
All right, but that's okay. So at home he's Stephen, actually, not Jonathan. He changed his name to suit his mood.
He's one of those
Right.
rainbows, you know.
Yeah, he's a rainbow. He's a warrior. He's a warrior
He's
of
there,
a sort.
fighting for the
But
planet.
you're the first rainbow that I have seen show up on the scene when you need it.
So Dave, what's happening here today?
So
This is the beginning of a what?
this is the water walk. We're in Kamloops today. We did a sweat last night. Jonathan, when he asked if he sweat, said, "Well, it depends on the winter." Was it? What did you say? It wasn't that.
He asked me. He goes,
something.
"Do you sweat?" And I say, "Well, it's
Use
depending
that
what I'm doing."
camera to make an ad for the rainbows.
That's what we're doing right now. We're on, guys. Anything to say to the Rainbow brothers and sisters up there?
I got something I'd like to say. To the
They're right
rainbows,
inside the lens.
brothers
If you look
and
right into the
sisters.
lens, if you center the lens is the center of the
I
eyes.
know a
of
lot of you
everyone.
are going to the Rainbow Nationals down there in Arizona. Well, I'm up here in British Columbia, Canada right now, and we'd like you to come up when you're done there having fun in the Nationals. Come up here to Canada and help us do this water walk. We're walking from 30 miles or 30 kilometers every day, and we're taking a little bit of water all the way along with us, and we're weaving it for the watersheds, for the planet, for each other. We're calling out to the family. We need some help. Come on up after the Nationals and give us some support.
And this is Canada, right?
This is Canada.
This is Earth, right?
This is Earth. Mother Earth comes first. Put yourself out of the way. Get up here and help.
Yeah. So if you're a hardcore rainbow, you're going to be here.
You will be here if you're a rainbow.
Well, that's what. Okay, this is the start. All right, let's see. Now that we got 5 months on this one, we're here to give the news to the people about what's happening. Now this is. I didn't see anything else happening, so this is why I'm here, and I'm taking it on as a project to process tapes.
I'm taking it on because every year I get involved in something that's going to help humanity as a whole. I don't care if it's a 1 day or a 1 hour event or something that's going to take me the next 5 months. If I get to help people, let's do it.
Hey, you guys get one of these? Here. Yeah, stand up. Don't let them do it to you. You know they're crooks. Let's get them, okay? You're with us. We're on a water walk. This is Eloise Charet. She's doing a water walk to Ottawa.
Wow.
And we're looking at about 100,000 people camping out on the highway at Ottawa.
Wow.
So we're the 4 people here who just gathered.
Yeah.
Actually, we just met her yesterday on the highway walking.
Well,
We
you guys scouted her out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we scouted her out. We got footage already on her,
Okay.
which is really good. She got sent off with a big circle at Parliament.
Wow, that's great.
And I checked her out before I decided to commit myself to what
David,
to do.
you already committed, man, aren't you?
All right, it takes 2 signatures, Jonathan.
Signs were there in such a strong way that and that's what kept me alive. It's like going to jail, and it's almost like it's greater than me. It's the water in me that's doing it to me. It's no longer even in my control, and now it's also leaving my hands, you know. And plan all these projects and everything. I said, why don't you just lower the electricity rate? Then I'm sure everybody's going to get something. And they got all like huff and puff up on this podium, the mayor and everything at town, and I just went on after them. I said the whole people here in Revelstoke voted against the dam, and they put it in anyways, telling them it would be great and better for their way of life. It destroyed, because in the mountains, that's where the fertile land is, it destroyed all their farming lands. And this woman, Marge, that took me around was an old trapper, and she was born and bred there. And she showed me everything, how it costs millions to hold up a porous mountain that shouldn't have been dammed in the first place. How many times Mica Dam's been cracking because it's on an extreme fault line. And on and on. And when they first called it water reservoir, they called it a recreational lake, and then 8 Boy Scouts drowned because of the wind factor. And then they called it water reservoir. But before that, they had the whole people convinced of this whole scheme of things. And they got like sucked in. And she said the only thing, they promised jobs and everything, the only thing it left us was with unwanted pregnancies. Then after that, she said, we locked our doors, we lost our farming grounds. We all became, in this village, we're at the foot of the dams, the whole village. If it ever cracks, if anything ever happens, we have
They're
2
gone.
minutes to get out of our house. And no foghorn, not even that consideration as a warning. And I said
just
that
gone.
all to, yes, and what does it do to you to live in those conditions? Not to mention under high voltage conditions that is undermining the health of the people of the area. I said it's as absurd as drinking, and I put my bottle up, bottled water in Revelstoke at the foot of glaciers. And I said they gave us a 90-page report to read on it and everything. I said I won't read these 90 pages. I'd rather have my trees back. And I threw it down. And I said, as for your corporate image, because it kept saying corporate image, corporate this and corporate that, I said, I don't want to have a corporate image. They took all the banners down the next day. And then the MLA in our area quoted my speech twice, but I walked out before hearing it because I didn't feel comfortable with him. But it was like the first time I was so upset. I was so upset. And they said power to the people. They're giving the power back to the people. I said, how can you trust people like you when you've never given the power back to the people? They're like vampires in a sense. It isn't our system. It isn't our dream. It isn't our way. And look at the first colonial people. They